Manuel Marquez. And later that same night, we bring you Roy Jones Jr. outside the ring, inside the fighter. A behind-the-scenes look at Roy as he prepared to fight John Ruiz last March. A look at the big spill up at Niagara, about 45 minutes drive from here. Many members of our crew making the pilgrimage up there. Coming up next, the second of our three heavyweight fights tonight on Boxing After Dark. Nigerian former Olympic bronze medalist Duncan Dokiwari against American former amateur star Dominick Guinn. And let's look at the tail of the tape now between Dokiwari and Guinn. Dokiwari is the biggest of the heavyweights you'll see here tonight. That listed height of 6'5" seems maybe a bit exaggerated to us. We're not certain he looks that tall. Larry in particular differing with that one. Guinn at 6'2½", giving up 2.5 inches. Arm length measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. We're seeing week by week that height is never a predictor or a necessary predictor of who's going to have the longer arm length. Weight, and you've got an 18¼ pound advantage for Dokiwari. Judges scoring criteria with our unofficial ringside guru, Harold Letterman.
Okay, Jim, it's New York State rules again, 10 rounds. The 4 criteria that the judges are going to use to score this fight: clean punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense, with a strong emphasis on clean, effective punching. Jim.
All right, Harold, and now here comes American Dominick Guinn from Hot Springs, Arkansas. You may have seen him in his last appearance here on June 7th, a 7th round TKO of Michael Grant in Atlantic City. Grant was so helpless in the fight that Guinn's trainer, Ronnie Shields, went virtually nuts in the corner between the 6th and 7th rounds, pulling an Emmanuel Stewart saying, "Damn it, get him out of there. I'm tired of watching this."
Well, he looked across the ring and saw Emmanuel doing that when Lewis fought Tyson, and he was in Tyson's corner.
The Southern Disaster is what
Dominick
Guinn
has
calls them.
2 really good boxing trainers in his corner, too, between Mark Breland and Ronnie Shields. 2 is also 2 of our greatest really amateur boxers in the history of amateur boxing, in addition to Mark being a 2-time world professional champion.
And let's take a closer look at Dominick Guinn with Larry Merchant.
Dominick Guinn comes from Hot Springs, Arkansas, where he went to the same high school as Bill Clinton, and he was a hot walker at the racetrack there, getting $5 a walk as he slipped over the fence to do it in his teenage years. He's had over 300 amateur fights, a large number for a heavyweight, but it also speaks to his natural caution that it took him that long to turn professional. As he puts it, it's a good time to be a young heavyweight because some of the older guys are being shouldered aside. Do any of these younger guys have the stuff to help them out of the way?
Well, young is a relative concept, somewhat defined here by the fact that Lennox Lewis is 38. At 28, Guinn is the youngest of the 6 heavyweights here.
Right.
That's what we should call this, the night of the new heavyweights, not the young heavyweights.
The new wave. Here's Duncan Dokiwari, who is a former Nigerian Olympic bronze medalist, one of several heavyweight prospects to have emerged from that nation in recent years. And you can see that the theme of the fight is Bill's jerseys, because Guinn and both of his cornermen, Mark Breland and Ronnie Shields, are wearing Drew Bledsoe jerseys. So it looks like Dokiwari has gone to the Eric Moulds look. Now, does that tell us, but he's got it marked with Dokiwari.
Number 85.
I guess that tells us that Guinn is going to be throwing the passes and Dokiwari is going to be receiving them.
Oh, my God.
Not necessarily the mindset a fighter would want, but here's a closer look at Duncan Dokiwari with Larry Merchant.
He comes from a middle to upper middle class family in Nigeria. His father was a colonel in the military. His mom is an international clothing trader. He did win a bronze in '96 when Vladimir Klitschko won the gold in Atlanta. And Dokiwari is the latest in the line of heavyweights coming out of Nigeria. There's a youngster named Samuel Peter who won a knockout in a grotesque mismatch on the undercard tonight. There was Henry Akinwande, who famously was disqualified in a fight against Lennox Lewis. Ike Abeabuchi, who had tremendous talent but deep emotional problems. Dokiwari tells us he fought Abeabuchi 4 times as an amateur and beat him twice. And then there was the redoubtable David Izon, a solid guy who just didn't have the talent of the others.
A look at Duncan Dokiwari. Let's go to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from DeBella Entertainment and Tony Holden Productions, in association with Main Events and your King of Beers Budweiser, the heavyweight action continues. This contest also scheduled for 10 rounds. If it goes to the scorecards, the 3 judges are Don Ackerman, John McKay, and Steve Weisfeld. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Jim Santa. 10 rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red with black and officially weighing 218½ pounds. He has a perfect professional record, 22 bouts, 22 victories with 17 knockouts. From Hot Springs, Arkansas, the undefeated Dominick, the Southern Disaster Guinn. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing gray, and his official weight stands at 236¾ pounds. An outstanding professional record of 22 victories, including 19 knockouts with only 1 defeat. Originally from Nigeria, but now living and fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA. Here is Duncan Dokiwari.
Good evening, gentlemen. We went over the rules in the locker room. Let's touch gloves and have a good, clean fight. Go ahead. Let's go.
Dokiwari has such a magnificent body that if he fails at boxing, he can always run for governor of California. And he tells us he's never lifted any weights.
You're comparing him to Arianna Huffington?
Precisely. You know, Emmanuel, he has a rather heavy beard.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they have not complained about that here, too. This will be a very interesting fight. They have Guinn as a big favorite on the experts, and I think a lot of that is because nobody, for the most part, has saw Dokiwari fight except real true boxing people.
Well, Dokiwari came to this country and then suffered a 2.5-year layoff between 1999 and 2002 as the result of his dispute with his promoter at that time. Finally came out of the shadows, trained by former Eddie Futch protege Thel Torrance. So Dokiwari may be better than most people give him credit for. His only loss, incidentally, was to Frezo Kendo, whom you saw last week, quote, losing, unquote, to Chris Bird.
Yes.
In a 6-rounder.
See, Guinn has had this very impressive fight, which so many people saw with Michael Grant, so therefore he's automatically a big, big favorite.
And this fight is at a much harder pace than we could have anticipated because both fighters have reputations for being passive.
They traded some good shots early.
He's a sharp, accurate puncher. These guys are punching with much more accuracy and speed and power than the previous fight.
Yeah, it looks more like a heavyweight fight, doesn't
It's
it?
a heavyweight fight, yeah.
Now, Dominick Guinn appears to me, Emmanuel, to have muscled up a little bit to get ready for Duncan Dokiwari.
You're probably being aware of the fact he's fighting a big guy. He probably muscled up a lot. But what's interesting in this fight, though, both of these guys have tremendous amateur backgrounds once again.
Larry mentioned Dokiwari's bronze medal at the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. He lost a 1-point decision in the semifinal to Peo Wolfgram. And had that gone the other way, as Dokiwari, of course, thought it should have, he would have been fighting Vladimir Klitschko in the Olympic final. There's a right hand across the top by Dokiwari. Didn't get it there to do damage.
Guinn has got a very good short left hook to it. He'll start jabbing, and halfway through the jab, he'll change it into a short left hook.
Which he can turn to the body or the head as well.
Yes. Good speed and power for big guys at the pace that they're going.
The trainers have both been urging the fighters to be more aggressive, throw more punches, and the fighters are trying this early on.
Dokiwari caught Guinn with a left hook coming in. Guinn momentarily startled.
And he just caught him with a right hand prior to that, and another grazing right hand again.
He had missed all of the previous right hands, but after landing that left hook and slightly buzzing Guinn, he was able to get in a right.
No punches, let's go. Step back, fellas. Step back. No, no, let go. Stop. Let's go. Let's go.
One question is, how long can Dokiwari do this with a body like that?
Yeah, and that's what Guinn said. He was hoping to take him in about 4 rounds and then to try to tire him out and then try to come back and outbox him.
Guinn may have to survive some big shots to make it to that 4th or 5th round. Dokiwari has come to throw leather tonight.
A good round.